Well, hello everybody. Welcome to week 9 of com151. This is Mark Evans, your instructor, and I hope that you've enjoyed the last 8 weeks of our class as we've looked at a lot of different software programs within the overall Microsoft Office suite. This week we're going to make it a little bit easier on you. I know that you probably struggled with Microsoft Access, the database program, over the past week. It takes a lot longer than 1 week to get your head wrapped around Microsoft Access and understand it, but it just kind of gave you a brief glimpse of what Access is and the things that you could do with it. So don't get too discouraged if you spend a week in that program and you kind of walk away with, man, I didn't learn a thing, or it was just really tough. Microsoft Access can be a class in and of itself. I know that when I went to school, I think I studied it for 20 weeks. And there's still things that I don't know or I'm learning with Microsoft Access. So don't get too hung up on that. Hopefully with Word and Excel it was a lot clearer. Certainly with OneNote that's fairly easy. And then Microsoft Outlook, which is the calendar and email and so forth. The next 2 weeks, week 9 and 10, we're going to rotate back down to Microsoft Outlook. So hopefully these 2 classes, sessions, if you will be a lot easier for you. Also give you time to do some catching up on work if you're behind or have things that you need to get turned in. This week we're talking about using the Microsoft Outlook program to increase our personal productivity. And really, personal productivity is a fancy way of saying how can we use programs to get a lot more things done in our family life, our personal life, school, work, or what have you. So how can we be more productive? Just to give you some ideas, I use Microsoft Outlook probably more than I use any other program out there. Certainly it's my email program. I get emails from various people. I have it linked to my iPhone, so I can get emails from my computer and from my iPad to my phone, so I can see emails on a regular basis. I can set up emails in any number of ways that help me. I have folders in the email category or in the email program where I can save information and get back to it. We can forward emails, we can print emails. There's a lot of different things we can do with the email program that help me in terms of productivity. I like to color code things into email. I also use date stamps and things like that to help me. And so, I mean, there's a lot of things you can just do with email and Outlook that help us to do a better job both at work or school or what have you. The second part of Outlook that we'll be talking about is going back looking at the calendars again and how you can use calendars to help yourself. So we'll be talking about those. Now we're also going to be looking at the to-do lists, things like that. So over the next 2 weeks it should get a lot easier for you in terms of the software programs. But I do want to remind you we only have 2 weeks and no work can be turned in once the class is over. So please, as you go through the next 2 weeks, make sure you've checked out the Zoom conferences and let me know you've watched them. They're easy grades. Look at the grade book. If you have work that's missing, it will have a 0 there. I can let you catch up anything but discussion posts. I'm not allowed to catch up discussion posts. So if you see an email a grade that has a 0, that doesn't mean you can't go back and do it. You don't have to be stuck with the 0. Get something turned in and over the next 2 weeks, and we'll get it graded and see how it turns out. Please check your grade. It's a running total, so you can see even now if you've got an A, a B, an F, a D, what have you, and you can see what you need to be doing. Week 10 there is an exam. That exam is turned on. You can go ahead and work ahead in week 10 if you want to. Just keep in mind that Saturday night the class closes and nothing can be turned in after that point. That's the school policy and there's not much I can do to help you there. So We have 2 weeks to study Microsoft Outlook, and 2 weeks basically to get everything caught up, turned in, and get you ready to move on to your next classes. I hope you've enjoyed Com151. I know I've enjoyed working with you. There's a lot of good discussions in this class, a lot of good assignments been turned in, a lot of really good ideas. So I've enjoyed working with you. I hope you've learned a lot. And with that said, have a great week. I'll see you in class.